Oh, do you like my Grua? You got
Is
Groot? That's Grua.
uh-huh.
That's Grua.
Okay. That's Groot's sister.
No,
Okay,
his
clever.
girlfriend.
Oh, that's his
That's
girlfriend.
his girlfriend. She was trying to get
Okay.
pretty for him.
Fancy. Fancy, fancy. I didn't
Hey guys, I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day, and I'm so very excited to be here with my next guest. We're going to be talking about relationships and changing your love profile, and oh yeah, we're gonna get in. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. I want to welcome you back to the show, man. I am telling you, this is an amazing day, an amazing interview. Okay, it hasn't even begun, but we've been talking because we got some stuff in common. You might have seen a little bit of our chit chat a little earlier, but it's okay because like I said, if you want to give us some Marvel comic statues or little play, I would put it right here because I am a Marvel girl, and so is my next guest. And she has
Yes.
promised me that I'm not going to say it. Maybe she will watch Ant Man. I know she hasn't really gotten into it, but it's okay. It's all about relationships today. Thank you so much for
Right.
being here, Melina. How you doing?
I'm
Is it
doing
Malia?
well. It's Tamanna.
Tomato. So why
Yeah.
does it say Malia there?
Because one is my actual name given at birth, and one is my alter ego.
Ooh, she's got a okay. Ooh, we're gonna have to get into okay. So oh my gosh, alter egos. I might this might be my alter ego then.
Yeah, yeah,
So tell us about yourself, girl. Now that I know you got you and then you got you.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that was the more Tamanna is the more freer me, unencumbered. But yes, my name is Tamanna. I am a diviner. I'm a tantric practitioner, and I'm a dowser. And what I do is I take all of that and create course content around self-help, self confidence, and relationship and authentic relating.
How did you get okay? Okay? Define these things. What is tantra? What is dowsing? What is this?
Yeah. Yeah, sure, sure. So, yeah, Tantra is the art of weaving masculine and feminine energy together to create healing, bliss, and manifestation. So, in life, in the Tantra practice, we come in with this perfect tree. Our DNA is like, okay, this is the highest and best us. Like, this is the highest and best Yaya. And unfortunately, through life changes, social conditionings, tragic things that may happen, our tree kind of gets a little sidetracked or bent to the side and no longer that perfect, like beautiful oak tree that we see in these pictures. So, what the Tantra does is that it takes the principle of masculine and feminine energy. So, feminine energy will always work on a masculine energy, the masculine energy will always work on a feminine energy. And it kind of works like a battery. Like, and say you put the positive with the negative, positive, negative, you put it in and the battery works. That's kind of like how it is. And it takes it and it goes throughout the body, pulling out these what I call pebbles that block us from our perfect stream of that perfect tree. So it may pull out pebbles of, rejection, emasculization, social conditioning. It can get to the point where it can go to things that are like molestation or fibroids or even sexual issues. It can and help with those things. So this is what I teach couples and singles and those who are trying to heal or practitioners. And then I put my unique spin on it with the dowsing.
So
Mm-hmm.
what's dowsing?
Okay, so with the dowsing, that's where I get into my story, right?
Oh,
So my
yeah,
story,
please.
yeah.
Yes.
So back in 2012, right? I just moved to Atlanta. It was about 6 months in. Just moved to Atlanta with someone I was in a relationship, and it was ending. It was another failed relationship. I was frustrated, off balance, sexually suppressed, and my go-to in that was just being more giving. Like, well, maybe if I just give more of me, I didn't give enough of me. Maybe I do more of me this time, and then it became volatile. I was like, what is going on? Like, it can't be them all the time. It has to be something with me. I said, so let me try to figure this thing out, right? So I was started researching. I stumbled upon this article about a study done in Harvard. It is the longest study in US history. It began in 1930, and it's a study on happiness. Like, what is the secret to make us happy? So, what they did is they took about 600 men and they tracked them from where, when they started this study up until now, because it's still ongoing. And it was for men across the board, young, old, rich, poor, poor background, rich background, lawyer, on the way up, on the way down, and they tracked them. They say they did the normal studies. I take your blood work, ask you a bunch of questions, but then they took it further. It's like, well, how's your family life? How's your work life? They study everything. Every year they did this study. And what they found out is that it wasn't how much money they made. It wasn't the fame, it wasn't that, it was relationships that caused them to live longer, happier, and healthier lives. Because at the end of the day, we want good relationships and we want to live longer, but we don't want to be decrepit when we're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't want to be bedridden and living a long time. That's not happiness.
Right.
Those who had good relationships in place by the time they were 50, quality relationships, authentic relationships, guaranteed that their lifespan was by 30%. They live in their 80s and 90s. The study is still ongoing. You can look this up, you can Google it. And these people are now in their 90s. And those who had nurturing relationships, had ride or die type relationships. Like, you don't have to have everybody. Everybody ain't got to be your friend, but these one or two good friends, you had that in there. You knew, and you knew they had you. By age 50, it was guaranteed that if you suffer from any disease, just how it is with mindset. When we have that C word, that cancer, be like, get your mindset right. Get that mindset first. Keep it positive, keep it happy. Those who had that in place guaranteed to live longer, better quality of life, and healthier than those who didn't. And those who did make it, right, who didn't die off because they didn't have that in place, that the health was, it was the decrepit one. It's the lifestyle you don't want. So relationships are very important.
Mm.
So, going back to my story, I got to get this thing together. So I
Yeah.
started studying relationships. I started taking up geisha books. I started taking up Kama Sutra. I started reading, like, what is it to be a woman and art of seduction. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do the men's. I said, let's start out with men. What alpha male, sigma male, beta male? What makes a male? And then I was like, okay, well, let's do relationship. And I came across a Tantra book. And the Tantra book said you can't learn Tantra from a book. You have to learn from master to student, from mouth to ear. So I dropped the book and looked for a Tantra teacher, and I found one. So within 30 days, I learned about diet, right? The basics, foundations of Tantra energy. Like, I didn't know if you are dehydrated, you can forget about trying to have any type of quality sexual experience because you're not hydrated.
That's
The
right.
right. The
It just don't it
electricity.
don't it don't how would I say this? I mean, it air. It's
Right.
it's like squeaky,
Yeah, right.
or you ever try to, like, you have to lubricate a valve in
Right.
order for it to move in there in the socket correctly if you're putting something together, right?
Yeah.
The same principle, right?
It's the
No
same
lubrication.
principle.
Oh,
It's
goodness.
the same principle.
Hold on a second.
Okay. Okay. Be hydrated. Good quality
Hydrate.
water too, right?
Mhm.
And then the basics of foundation, where I was like, how I was sabotaging myself. You know what I'm saying? What isms were holding me back from being authentic with myself first and foremost. And in addition to being authentic with other people, right? And so, unfortunately, the facts are just that. It's like, 76% of women cannot orgasm vaginally. They can do it
What?
through the clitoris,
You're
but
kidding
through your
me.
vagina without mouth or some type of toy or some type of apparatus. And this is a travesty. It is our divine right to access all of us. Do you
How
understand?
much? How many percentage?
76%. And you could, yes, 76% of women cannot orgasm through the vagina unless they have some type of mouth stimulation, toy stimulation, finger stimulation. The vagina was made for the penis. Can I say penis?
You
I
can
just
say penis, and you can say
okay.
vagina. Yes, that's
Right. It's
correct.
like your left hand was made for your right hand,
Mhm.
but somewhere there's a disconnect. And so with that disconnect, it all goes back to this relationship study, like with the Tantra study. So within 30 days, I was getting that stuff together. Within 6 months, I was healing blockages not only from myself, but also from men and exploring femininity. And I became orgasmic, multi orgasmic, and gained intimacy skills. So, it's it's not only just, self and just for me, but it also helping the other. And then with the dowsing piece, it all came together.
Mm, mm, mm.
But I do have to say that, unfortunately, um, we in this society don't have that type of nurturing. Now, I don't remember, I hate to tell my age, but you remember Dr. Rue?
Yeah.
I used to love Dr. Rue. It come on,
No,
I'd be
she
like,
was out
wow.
there. She was out there. I remember
Right.
my mom wouldn't let me see her.
Yeah, but she was educating
Oh,
us.
yeah, she was out there, boy, I tell you what.
Right. And she went away, and there's no
No,
one that took her place. And we have no type of relationship, what it is to look like I have a good relationship hygiene, relationship, all that stuff matters.
yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah. And
It's a
with
big
Tantra,
deal.
mm, mhm. And with
My God.
Tantra, it is, a sensual component and can get sexual. But
Mhm.
with the discovery of the self, the original intention was to discover your highest and best self. So
Right.
when it becomes transcendent and spiritual, your intuition becomes better, gifts start coming online from your DNA. You can correct epigenetics from that. You can
Mm.
gain even more authentic intimacy with your partner without using verbal skills. Like 70% of communication is nonverbal.
Of course. I've
So
said
if
that so
we
many times.
right. So if we can communicate and learn how to interact with each other on an energetic level, I think we can get more bang for our buck operating in this realm versus trying to communicate. Well, that has a part to play too, but you know what I'm saying? It's a whole total approach.
It definitely is. Wow. Wow. These percentages you're dropping are just they're just staggering. I mean, over 70% of women can't actually orgasm without a finger, without some kind of op, additional stimulation. I mean, I'm not part of those people, but I'm not part of those. But I mean,
I
I,
know
I
that's
never
right.
knew it was that big. I never knew that percentile was that big. So you're working on changing the love profile, self confidence, self help, relationships, and also, you're offering your master classes. I'm kind of curious as to also diet, right? I mean, these things are big. I mean, imagine a diet that's full of fast foods and sodas and juices are not going to be conducive to a very good environment on the body as well as a hydrated body. I mean, so you teach all of this?
Yes. Yes. So in the master class, we cover like a bit of the surface stuff, right? Right.
Mhm.
We cover the diet, a little bit of the diet. We also cover things like archetype and acknowledging biorhythms.
Mm.
So things
Wait,
happen
wait,
in
wait. I
seasons.
thought biorhythms were just for pregnancy.
Ooh, see, not so, not so. So that is a very known biorhythm, right?
Right.
The cycle of the woman when she ovulates and when she gets pregnant, right?
Right.
But there are other biorhythms too. Like there is a circadian biorhythm. Like why do we get sleepy at night? Because it's programmed in us to do this,
Right.
right? But there are also a mental biorhythm, a emotional biorhythm, an intellect biorhythm, and a physical biorhythm too, which goes into play on when is it good to approach or do things and when is it not. Take for example, if I my biorhythm is in a negative emotionally, it's not a good idea to hit me with some heavy emotional stuff like that. Like if I could look at my biorhythm or my mate's biorhythm, like, okay, I need to talk to him about this money because I need a little bit more extra money, right? I'm trying to get this little thing over here and I'm approaching him. And his intellect is high and his emotion is high. And I'll be like, oh, okay, it's good to talk to him as long as I put on my little moon thing because I know he likes that to be nurtured and stuff. So I'm gonna do that in order to get this. Those are basic knowledge that when you are operating in your femininity, helps you with the relationship versus coming at it full force. Give me this money. But again, those are the surface levels. But again, what it does is it teaches you about yourself. When I know my own biorhythm, then I can interact with others. It doesn't make sense for me to go gun ho at work when I know my physical and my emotion is in a negative and it's not gonna go well,
Right.
right? And then coupled with that, okay, I know my feminine power is moon. That means I can nurture you and I'm very good at being nurturing and mothering, right? That's like my strong suit versus other suits. And if there's something that I want to work on, having knowledge of those things is what I said learned in the first month, help me balance it out. Because if I show you my picture of what I look like in 2012, totally different person than what it is now, which is good.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, I was in that martyr. And what I was trying to do is figure it out, figure what makes a good relationship. And to make a good relationship and the relationship I want, I have to show up well. And, and then, so when I show up well, I should attract equal but opposite in theory. In
Right.
theory.
Wow.
But
Wow.
at
Wow.
least I have the tools to do so.
Definitely. And that's what I was getting ready to say. The tools. There, I mean, okay, so wait, stop. Relationships are so complicated to begin with,
Mhm,
but sometimes we think it's them and it's not them, it's us.
mhm,
And sometimes they think it's us and it's not us, it's them.
mhm.
And I just want to find out, how do we rectify that situation? And do you teach this as well,
I
in
sure
your
do.
courses?
I sure do. I teach how to handle it on an energetic level. So what the second piece is of the masterclass is the reflexology. So with Tantra, how I said is the art of weaving masculine and feminine energy together to create healing and bliss. So these little nuances that we have, oh, that irritates me, oh, this, it starts to build over time to where it becomes an issue, right? And you're trying to solve the problem with the same thinking that got you in that problem.
Mhm.
But what Tantra does is that the Kundalini or the Chi, because this is a Tantra style that is very based on Eastern knowledge, the Chi is smart. So it knows that trigger is not really him. It's because when you were growing up, your dad, you made this thing for your dad and he didn't honor you. He just treated it like it was dirt. And so you protected yourself at that time, but that program step still kept running. And that program
Mm,
got stuck in your body as a pebble. So your mate or whoever works on you takes their energy, and it's an energy thing. If you get the energy off, because think about it, when you think about it, you get emotional, and that's energy in motion. So
mhm,
if that gets cleared to where it no longer affects you, now you can become that perfect tree. And one of the ways that we know we're that perfect tree is when women are multi orgasmic. That means vaginal orgasms, not the little girl orgasm, not the clitoris. I'm talking about you feel orgasmic everywhere for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12 minutes, 15 minutes. You can do a whole hour if you need to, if you get to do your work. Okay, she know what she's talking about. She got a smile on her face, y'all. She know what I'm talking about. But
I'm
you have to
saying.
do the work. It takes work. That is a certain level of freedom and vulnerability to get there. But you can't get there if you still running that old program. This he did this, but it ain't had nothing to do with him.
Mhm.
So that's what reflexology does, and I cover that a little bit in the master course, in the master class, the free master class that I'm giving to your listeners. And then I have a pyramid that'll do your sexual profile. Can you see exactly where you're on the pyramid and where you can go?
Mm.
And that'll tell you it's right there.
So
So
I'm
Mhm.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to get into the dowsing piece, but go ahead.
You did the whole thing and you were like multi-orgasmic and all that stuff, but you said something. You said triggers.
Triggers, yes.
So, I
So,
mean,
mhm.
how prevalent, how important is it to understand your triggers and your partner's triggers, even your friends' triggers, so that you can understand where the relationship can go and how much better it can get if you understand those things.
It is tantamount that you understand that. Okay, we start with first you, right? What are your triggers? And then we go to extending out to others. But I not only help you identify your strengths and your weaknesses, but what you can do about it. Because it doesn't make sense to tell you, not give you the tools to, do something about it, but do something so it's not daunting, like easy to do exercises. We're all busy. You know what I'm saying? We
Yes.
need it simplified.
Mhm.
Uh, the only thing is that it's simplified, but over time. Like you can't do it one day.
I gotcha.
It took a while to get here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So there's no
yeah.
magic. If you walking for a magic pill, I'm not your girl.
I hear you. I hear you. Now, singles. Can singles come to you to actually help themselves to be better in their relationships in the future?
Absolutely. I highly encourage this. The Tantra is for singles, couples, those who are looking to also be healers, those who are looking to be healed, those who are looking to be celibate, because the basis of Tantra is opening up your heart. Once the heart is open, then everything else falls into place. That's all self work. Nobody else is needed at this point, right? And eventually you do get to a point where, okay, now you need that other person. However, if that other person is not cool or there, cool, no problem. Let's prepare you with the intimacy skills. That way, when the person come, you don't have to get ready. You be ready.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. And then you can help your partner by understanding those triggers and the points and
Right.
all that stuff and understanding yourself better. You were going to talk about dowsing and I cut you off. Tell me about dowsing.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Thank you, Yaya. I appreciate that. So once you get the skills and now they're there and they're going through their healing and you're helping them with that process, right? At the same time, building those bonds. Remember we talked about that ride or die? That's building that bond. That's building that relationship so that you can live longer, have better quality of life. And it's a known fact that married people are more wealthier. It's just a known fact. That's a fact. You can look that
Where,
up.
where did I hit? Where did I go wrong on that one?
I don't know. We're gonna get you right, girl. We're gonna get
You'll
it
get me
together.
right.
Don't you worry.
No, talk about Mary. Where did I go wrong? What station did I not get off on?
In theory, it said there.
Yeah,
But
right. Oh my God.
seriously, but with the dowsing part, so this last piece was this is my story. I was on a table session. I was having a tantra table session. It was a distant table session. Thing about tantra, you don't have to be physically in there. It could be touch or non-touch. It does not have to be always sexual. People think tantra is just sex. That's not true. So I was having a distant session, and what came up was that I wasn't acknowledging all of me. I'm a bit light skinned, so I do have other races mixed in me. But I was like, I'm just black and I'm just gonna honor that. And it came to a space where no, you have to do everything. If you're going to be authentic, it must be everything, 100%. So my ancestors pushed dowsing into my space. And when I did, I took off like a rocket. I said, this is phenomenal. This is the missing piece. I began to travel to sacred sites. I've been to Egypt, I've been to Stonehenge. I'm foreseen to do other stuff to learn how these energies work and bring it back to you guys so we can make better relationships. And what I found is that we do all this work, but we don't notice the energy in the space. For example, um, my son is very clairvoyant and he's very sensitive. So I was always doing clearing work. And the clearing work in my house and home, sage, organite, celiomes, nag champa, whatever, rock salt. I see a little rock salt there, right there. Clear your space, keep the space clear,
Oh yeah.
right? People always tell me your space is so clear and comfortable. They weren't as sensitive as my son. And I had an Airbnb, so I kept it, good reviews, keep the people happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I discovered is that there was an underground stream under my wall, under my house. And when I reached out to experts to help me douse my place, he said, "Well, the underground stream is not bad. It's not bad to have water, there. But the yang energy that the water creates, because it's always moving, is not good to live upon because it's moving fast in a place you're trying to rest. Do you see the mismatch
Yeah.
here? So you need to either harmonize the space or neutralize the space in order to get the effect of peace. And this is, and so when I did that, my son, I didn't even tell my son. He noticed it immediately. He said, "The space is calm, the space is clear." I knew I was onto something. And so I incorporated that into my Tantra rotations.
Wow.
So a Tantra rotation is where everybody who's practicing Tantra gets together and practices work on each other. So, we get good at it. It's practice our energy work. And so I now incorporate that in my Tantra rotation and it just 10x that.
Mm.
So there, unfortunately, America is not up on dowsing. Dowsing is dowsing rods to read the energy or a way to read the energy in the environment. In Europe is very respected. In other parts of the world, dowsing is a very respectable profession. And unfortunately, over here, it hasn't quite caught up to speed, but it will. But there are studies that show that when you live upon detrimental energy, it increases your chance and likelihood of diseases by 30%. There was a guy, his name is Dr. Hartman. It's called the Dr. Hartman Grid. He's a German doctor. He studied over 4,200 cancer patients. That's what he worked at. He found that if they just moved their bed 6 inches from this detrimental energy, they either A, never contracted cancer, or when they got the treatment, they recovered way more faster than those who stayed on that line. So the importance of analyzing the space, especially when you do all this work, is tantamount. So that was my missing piece. So when I covered that, a little bit in the master class on what that is and kind of like give you an information on that. And then, if you want to take it further, like you can learn to do it, I'll teach it to you. Or be like, "Look, I don't have time for that. Just do my space." I can do that too. But at the master class, I give you just simple techniques just for you to either be aware of or things that you can use right now, like the biorhythm calculator or the sex profile pyramid that you can gauge where you at right now.
Mm.
So I give you all kind of tools all in the master class.
That is amazing. And it's free?
The master class is free. Yes. So you can sign
Mm.
up, go to changeMyLoveProfile.com. I'll give you the coordinates for the next master class. And yeah.
Oh my gosh, girl.
What you
You
think?
can
Yeah, yeah. What you
man,
think?
I'm looking at you going, you must be Dr. Ruth's daughter. She talk about all kinds of stuff that I mean, again, you're an educator, you're trying to help people get to that relationship and live longer and live better and understand themselves as well as their partners and their friends. And literally speaking, this is what we need. This is what we need. I love what you're doing.
Thank
And
you.
I didn't know what any of this was.
A lot of people don't. So I'm in the
I didn't know.
education mode for real, for real.
Yeah, girl, what you talking about? I
I hope it
didn't
was
know, but
helpful.
yeah, but definitely is helpful and informational. I mean, so you said that people can reach you at what's the website again?
www.changemyloveprofile.com. You can also catch me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Awesome. We're going to have all that information in the description box below so that it'll be easy for you guys to go ahead and join that. I would do suggest, and I do suggest, and I will suggest to go ahead and go to that free masterclass. You may just learn where you're at or learn
Yeah,
a thing or two about where you're not at.
yeah, yes. I'm gonna
And
send
if
it to you.
huh?
I'll send it to you and you tell me what you think.
I'm gonna keep that a little a little under,
We'll talk
it's
offline.
just one of those things where we really haven't been educated. So it kind of makes you not embarrassed, but kind of a little bit of a shyness coming out.
Yeah.
When Dr. Ruth was out, we were talking about that earlier. When Dr. Ruth was out, it was like, yeah, you
Right,
know,
we were kids then. We was always trying to be rebels anyway. So we was like,
hey,
"Yeah, I'm watching this, mom.
oh, watch
This,
this.
this on
Now it's
primetime TV. What you gonna do?
I know,
TV."
right? Now it's like, "Ew, mom, dad, you know? Now,
Ooh,
but, we gotta get out of that because, I mean, literally,
have
we are
to.
all products of a sexual relationship that had went right.
Right, right. And we need to make sure that we're educating our children so they don't
Yes.
make the same, you know. We want good communities, and that comes
Yeah.
with strong families. And strong families are made from strong people. So
Mhm.
get our thoughts together, everything else falls into place. And so that's what I offer. Again,
Awesome.
go to changemyloveprofile.com, changemyloveprofile.com. Thank you, Yaya.
Oh, we're gonna have that information again in the description box. No problem, girlfriend. So we both have alternate egos here
Yes.
because Yaya is my alternate, and I use it all the time, and she's not shy.
Yes.
Now, my real person, I like to keep her out of the limelight. So
Yeah.
definitely understand. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys, or at the master class. Are you
Yes, that's the
join?
masterclass.
That's right. All right. Well, let's see. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified the next time that I upload. And don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys. I dare to be different. I dare to be different. I dare to
Fancy. I didn't know you were a Galaxy a Guardian fan.
Oh, what?
Girl,
Marvel
I can't
Comics,
wait till the
baby.
next one. You know, the next installment coming out.
Oh, I already saw the last one in the movie theater the other day. It was so
It
cool.
was good. That's the
Oh,
third
it
one.
was good.
That's the
Yeah, I
last one.
saw it. I saw
Good.
it. Girl, you gotta go see it.
I'm gonna go see it.
Gotta go see it.
Endgame was
It's
phenomenal
3
too.
hours long.
They're all getting longer. It's
Yeah.
like
That's
everything is
because it's
getting
so good. I
longer.
mean, you can't, like, put an hour and 40 minutes or hour and 20 minutes of all of that. You gotta have something good. It's gotta be
Right,
good, so and, of
right.
course, at the end, something comes up, so
To make it for the next one, right?
yeah,
Did
yeah.
you like the end game?
Oh, I loved it. I hated it. It's all in there.
It was man, I was like,
I know, I
I
know,
gotta wait 2 years. I
I
should have
know,
waited to see this. Like
I know. That's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible, but it's really good. I mean,
okay,
now I went to
I'll
see
check it out.
Quantumania. I gotta see Quantumania now because it's out on Disney.
The Ant-Man and
Quantumania, Ant-Man.
Quantumania?
Yeah.
I just saw the poster for that today.
Yeah, it's out on Disney. Girl, you late.
I didn't get into the Ant-Man. I was like,
I
I don't
like them
know.
all
Somebody's gonna have to recommend that to
because
me.
they're all kinda combining each other now. They're all
Yeah.
intertwining, so you have to get the story of every single last one of them in order to understand the next one.
Yeah. You could probably binge watch Marvel for a week straight without leaving the house. That's how much
Oh,
there is
yeah.
now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, and when somebody puts it out, you have to binge watch Marvel, and they're gonna pay you $1,000, I'm in.
Okay. That's
I'm
what's
in.
up.
I am in. I am in. They did
Oh,
that
you I didn't know you
in
was
the
a Marvel fan.
ah,
What's
girl.
up?
Don't even know.
What's up?
Don't even know. This is like my so if anybody wants to give me any kind of, Marvel collection things, I'm gonna put it right here on the shelf. It'll be right in the picture,
Okay.
Marvel comic.
Yeah.
Be
I
like,
know it began with X-Men. I know when X-Men came out, you was like,
yeah.
oh, oh, they trying to do something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'll put Groot here. So
Okay.
and actually Groot is a plant. It's a
Yes.
plant. You can put
It's
a
a
plant
tree,
there.
right? Oh, it's a
No, you
plant you're plant?
it's a
Oh, for real,
planter.
for
Yeah,
real?
you could
Oh,
put a
that's
plant you can
nice.
put like a little flower in there.
Oh, that's
Yeah. I
cute.
know. All right, so you ready? We haven't even
Yeah.
started yet.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you. Get my nerves out. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I needed that.
Hey.